Hi guys, and welcome back. We are with the beautiful 747 Queen of the Skies again, and this time we are going to do the flight planning and the FMC, and it's going to be a beautiful flight plan. If you don't have Navigraph or any extra software installed, you can do it all on the flight planner. But don't worry, it's going to be a beautiful flight plan with all the SIDs and stars, with all the departures and the arrivals, just like the big time professional flight planners. And we can do it all on the default Microsoft game flight planner, and we can stick it into this 747 FMC, and we can do a lovely flight plan and also a lovely ILS approach. So let's get underway, shall we? Hi everyone, and welcome to Jet in Airways, where a smile goes a long way. Now if you enjoyed the video today, feel free to give us a thumbs up, a like, or hit subscribe, or make a comment. And of course you're welcome to join our Discord, where we have regular meetups and group flights. Right, so here we are guys in the default flight planner, and this is the flight plan we're going to use today. It is a standard Jet in Airways flight plan. You can join our Discord if you want to fly for Jet in Airways. We have a lot of beautiful planes painted in the Jet in Airways livery, but 747 we are using a Delta Airways 747 today. Now this is the flight plan we're going to do. We have worked this plan out. It is a standard route for the Jet in Airways pilots, and this page has got every piece of information that you will need to have a wonderful easy flight and do an easy beautiful flight plan. So take a screenshot of this or freeze frame the video and write all these details down, because everything you need for this video, everything you need for this flight is on this page. All the hard work is done for you. In fact, you'll even see how much money you earn as a Jet in pilot. As a Jet in virtual income to fly the 747 to San Francisco, you're going to get $680. Oh, if you're only going to do it in the 737, you'll get paid $450. If you're a return flight, of course you can double it. Just to have a bit of fun with the virtual airline, you can keep a tabs of your income as well. So this is the flight plan for Jet in Airways KLAX to KSFO. So I'm going to slide this over to my second screen now. Hopefully you've written it down, or you've taken a screenshot or a photo. Stick it over to my second screen. Right, so let's start putting all the information into our flight planner, including all our departures and arrivals, our SIDs and our stars. So we are departing KLAX, so let's click that there for a start, and we're going to arrive at KSFO. So there it is there, or you can type it in there, but there it is there because I've done it before. I don't want to go at night time. I want you to be able to see everything clearly, so I'm going to bring the time of day up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so let's start getting into the juicy stuff now. We need to click on the higher altitude airways. High altitude airways, everything above 10 or 15,000 feet, I think, is considered high altitude airways. Okay, so we're going to depart from runway 25 right. That is in there already. That is good. And we're going to arrive at San Francisco, ILS approach 28 right. So let's put that in there, ILS 28 right. Okay, so I've got our departure runway and our arrival runway. Right now for our waypoints, our SIDs and stars, for our departures, we're going to come in here and we're going to select Summer R2 25 right. Click that in there. And for our arrivals, our stars, arrival Surf R4. Let's have a look down here. Surf R4. There we go. We'll click on that. And there you can see our beautiful flight plan with all our waypoints, our departures, our stars, our SIDs. Everything is in there. Slide this along and you can see all our waypoints all the way along to our beautiful ILS landing at KSFO. And that is it, guys. It is done. Now if we want to, we could really zoom in here close and pick a gate for where we want to depart from. Now, it's standard procedure for Jet and Airways to depart from gate 69B. We have a contract and a lease on gate 69B, which is right there, 69B. So click on that, set as departure. Okay, right, so come on out. Now when we click fly, make sure you've got the right aeroplane selected. We're doing the 747-8. And if it's a default aircraft in the simulator, once you click fly, all this information will go straight into your ILS automatically. All your SIDS and stars, your ILS approach, and everything will go straight into the FMC computer automatically. Okay, it's as easy as that, and it's a drop dead gorgeous flight plan. Make sure you got your 747 selected up there. Okay, so let's click fly, and we'll be underway, and I'll see you when we're down on the ground in the cockpit. Okay, so here we are at KLAX in the beautiful 747 Queen of the Skies. First thing I do, guys, is to jump outside the plane and have a look around and check where I'm going to go when I taxi. Okay, there's our runway right there. So I'm going to taxi off to my right. I'm just going to plan now. I'm going to turn tail to the left, come out, head right down to the end here, right down to the very end, because I'll need every last inch of the runway in the beautiful 747. So before I jump in and do anything else, that's the first thing I do. I get my bearings, just double check which way I'm going to go when I taxi, so there is absolutely no confusion later. I can just go straight into it. So we're sitting here cold and dark, get all the services done, all the luggage and everything done there. Just looking gorgeous in the Delta livery there. Okay, so we're coming in, we're going to do a cold and dark startup, and we're going to program the ILS. We won't do the whole flight today, we're just going to do the startup and get the ILS programmed with our beautiful flight plan in, like we did in the flight planner. Right, so let's come up here, we will turn on the battery, and we will get the ground power underway. Recover our battery. Okay, ground power is on. Emergency lighting, we can open that, put that down to auto and recover that. Right, so while we're running on ground power, we can go ahead and get our ILS and everything done. Now the other thing we want to do, which is up here of course, is to align the IRS, get our gyros all set up. So we'll put the 3 IRS switches onto navigation. Okay, so we'll come down here. Okay, so here is our FMC. Okay, position in it. It's the first thing we need to do. We are at KLAX, so let's put that in there. KLAX. KLAX. Now you see we've got all these empty boxes here. They need to be filled. That's mandatory. The IRS I've got set on instant, so it doesn't take a long time to line up. So there it is there. We're going to copy and paste that into there, and that is done, so the computer knows exactly where we are in the world. Let's go to departure and arrival. We're departing through summer. There we go. Departure KLX, KSFO arrival. We arrival to Surf 4. Now it's already put in here because we did it on the flight planner. So everything is actually in there. ILS 28 right, that's selected, okay. Route, so that's all done for us. Let's go to performance in it. Okay, reserves, I'm going to put 1000 in there. 0 fuel weight, I'll click that twice and that will go in automatically. Altitude, we're going to cruise at 30,000 feet, so I click 300, put that in there. Cost index is going to be 50 for the 747, that can go in there. thrust limit, takeoff, flaps will be 10 in the 747. Okay, that one we will click once, click twice, and that tells us there our trim needs to be set at 7.5, so we'll do that down on the screen later. Trim will be set 745. These are our takeoff speeds. Now it puts it out here, but we still have to click it over. Once we click it over, it goes to big numbers. So that's how you know you've clicked it over and it is all active. Okay, so we're going to execute that. And that is all good. That is all in. If we go to legs now, we will see all our waypoints, everything in here. Let's just go through it and make sure there are no discontinuities. There is one there, which we need to fix. So we'll click on Surfer, go back, and that'll move everything up one, and it will block out that discontinuity there. No more discontinuities. All our waypoints are in there, all the way to runway 28 right. So that's it. That is our FMC all done. Because we did it on the flight planner, everything went in there automatically. But we still need to go over everything and make sure everything is in there correctly, like I just did. Let's get rid of that. Okay, let's come down here now and check our flight plan. We'll put this on plan. Okay, and we'll zoom out a little bit. Okay, and we'll step through our waypoints just to check. There's our departure there at KLAX. Come up through there, up the coast, head on up inland a little bit there, come over, and then we're coming in towards our final approach and straight into there for an ILS approach. That will be just absolutely beautiful. We do have to make sure that we've descended and we are down to 3,000, 2,000 feet when we reach this turnaround, when we're coming out here, so that we're coming towards our finals at 2,000 feet. We just got to make sure we do that. I flew this flight last night with Alan for a bit of a practice, and my altitude was too high, so I made a bit of a boo-boo there. I did manage to do a loop around and come down and land, but I was way too high on my approach, so I had to start again. So it's something I got to be conscious of this time. So there's our FMC all done. Let's go over here and do the autopilot. Get our autopilot set up. Now our cruise out speed is going to be 250, so let's get that down to 250 there. Okay, around about my cruise out altitude, I'm going to stay at 10,000 feet. Now if I hit the flight directors, if I turn the flight directors on now, I can also turn on the LNAV, and that will stay on because we've got a legitimate flight plan in the FMC. My vertical speed I can also set now. We're going to climb out at 2,200, not too sharp, just a nice gentle climb out. That is on now. Now this won't come into play, of course, until I hit the autopilot. I'll engage the auto throttle, I'll hit the speed button, engage the autopilot, and then these the speed and the vertical speed will come into play once I hit the autopilot. So that's all good. Can get my my brake, auto brake, down to RTO, rejected takeoff. So that's set up, the autopilot's set up, the FMC is set up. I can go ahead and get pushback. First thing I will do actually is standby power, turn that round to auto, and I will start my my APU, click that round to start, and it will come back again, and we'll get our APU started. We'll turn on our fuel pumps. Will not turn on the middle fuel pumps because by default there is no fuel in the middle fuel tank, and we will get warning lights if we turn that on now. Let's turn on our lights. so the ground crew know that we are working on some startups. Taxi lights I can put on now in advance, turn on our window heat, and our wing anti-ice can go on there. Engine bleeds, they can go on. Our APU bleed is on. Seems like that is on by default. It will not turn on our packs yet. So we can go ahead and get some pushback. I will take off my brake, take off the handbrake, just check the throttles, everything are moving freely and engaging correctly. See if we've got some pushback going here. I may need to ask ground services for some pushback. Oh no, the tug is coming in here. Here he goes. But let's have a look up here. Okay, APU is ready to be turned on, so let's turn on our APU. That will disconnect our ground power automatically. So we're now running on the APU power. So we'll be all clear to start our engine as we are getting pushed back. Bit cloudy today. Hopefully we get some nice views as we head up to San Francisco. I'm not going to do the full flight right now. We are just doing our FMC, our flight plan, and our engine startup to the point where we're ready to taxi and take off. If you missed the previous video, I just did one on the engine startup, and that is just the engine startup. So if you'd like to see that, go back and see my previous video on engine startup, and that just goes over the engine startup and nothing else, not the FMC and anything. So see that one and then come to this one. Right, I've put the parking brake on. Now this plane does have auto start system installed, the auto start system, so we can actually start all the engines at the same time. We have to sort of turn them on one at a time, sort of thing really, but we can get them all going at the same time. First I'm going to start engine number 4. I'm going to pull that out. As you click it, you'll see it come out just ever so slightly from that angle. You can just see it. You can see it's come alive here. You've got to wait till it gets up to about around 12, yeah, 22. So once it's come up a little bit, you can flick on the ignition or add fuel to the engine. So it's basically the engine starter switch there, and you'll see life come to the engine there. The turbines are winding up, starting to turn. It's the fuel pressure, oil pressure is coming up there, the air pressure. Right, now this will click in by itself, but we don't actually have to wait for that. We can just go ahead and do the next engine, engine number 3, and we'll take the engine number 3 switch up, and you'll see that one start to come alive there. And we can go ahead and do engine number 2, and we'll add fuel to engine number 2, take that starter switch up, and we'll pull out engine number 1. They're sort of like chokes on the car really. You pull them and they sort of pop out, even though you don't see it very good from that angle. Okay, we'll add fuel to engine number 1, and all our engines will come to life and we'll be all underway beautifully. Now while I'm down here, of course, I can set my trim, get my trim set down here. You see it down to the 7.5, I think it said, so I'll bring it down to 7.5 or thereabouts, around about in the middle, and I can also get my flaps down a bit as well, but I won't start doing that. I need to get my generators on. So let's come up here. This one's just got to pop in, and then that one's fully started. Okay, they've all popped in, so all the engines are fully underway here now. So let's switch all those around to auto. All our generators, power generators. So everything is looking good, and we can get clearance to taxi and take off. Just give your throttle a bit of a swing, make sure the throttles are engaging, the plane is getting power, it is. So I can now take down my flaps. If I come down here, this will be our flaps. There we go, you click it once and the display pops up, flaps 10. So we'll take that down 3 clicks, and that will take our flaps down to flaps 10. Auto brakes on RTO, rejected takeoff. Right, so we are ready to get clearance to taxi and head over to the active runway and get ready for departure. Taxi lights are on, check. We can turn our landing lights on now too if we wish in advance, so they're all ready to go. And if I release my brake here, park brake, give her a little bit of juice, you should see the plane start to move, and we're all good to head down to the active and get ready for departure. Well, that's the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. I know possibly I went fast, but just pause it. Just play a little bit and pause it and go over it. Check out the last video on how to start up the engines, and then this one on how to do the flight planning and the FMC, and then we're all ready for the next video, which will be a full flight up the coast to San Francisco. Right, thanks for watching, guys. Give me a like, give me a cheeky little comment, or subscribe to the channel if you like easy, basic, sort of fun flying. We're not too serious here, just casual fun flying. Do everything pretty much the simple and the easy way. I'll see you on the next video. Keep well and enjoy your flight simulator. Over and out. Cheers.